Hey everyone, I'm Samir Kagarkar and welcome to my YouTube channel. In the last video, we left the video at this portion exact. So we designed the website in Adobe Illustrator. Now in this video, we are going to develop the website, build the website in HTML and CSS using VS Code and Bootstrap 4 as a framework. So let's get started. So let's get to the meat of this video. What we're going to do is first let's close this section. The Adobe Illustrator file is still on. We don't want it. The website unsplash.com is also on. We don't want it. Cool. This is one of the backgrounds that I created in Adobe Illustrator, just to give you an overview as a side note. So I'm using VS Code as an IDE. So what we are going to do is we are going to first close the current uh, folder which is on right here, close folder, and we are going to open the new folder, the exact same folder that we used in the last video, which is on my desktop. So open folder, web designs, and web design 1. So now for the HTML part, we want a new document, and the first HTML web page that always loads up is index.html. So in the HTML, we'll just use the boilerplate given by emit functionality, which is already there in VS Code. So you just have to do exclamation mark and enter, and it gives the boilerplate for HTML document. So in the document, we are going to write the name uh, of our website, which is the tree.org. Now we want to include a CSS file also. So link style sheet. Now these are all the functionalities in VS Code itself. So this is why we are using VS Code and not some basic text editor like Notepad++ and stuff like that, because um, VS Code has all these functionalities where most of the things are being done by themselves. Also, you can see the markup is being highlighted using different colors so that it's easy to read. Now what we want? Style.css. So also we need to create a CSS file called style.css. Now first what we are going to do is, now in Visual Studio Code we have this functionality. So if we go to extensions and search for live server, this one, and you just have to install it. Here will be a green button for install. Just install it. What actually happens is, when we have a live server on, a live server session on, all the changes that we make on this website are directly shown on the on the website. So if I start it using live server, and it will open Chrome, and this is the tree.org website. So let's do one thing. I'll be putting it to this one side, and for the other side we'll see if we can use this one. Right, good. So what we are going to do here is first check if style.css is working. So let's use body tag and give it a BGC, that is a background color of red, let's say, just to see if it's working. So as soon as we give it red, now as soon as we save it, all the changes are being reflected back here on the website. So that is the use of live server. So once it's done, we'll be changing it afterwards. Now first what we have to do is, first we have to download Bootstrap. So let's go to Bootstrap 4 and introduction to Bootstrap. Now why I'm showing you this is because all other videos, all other web designers and developers show you the code which are right there on the other screen, and they just see the code and write it down on the laptop and show you the stuff. But that is not how actual programming takes place. The actual programming is a bit difficult. Sometimes you have to uh, you know uh, see a lot of documentation, search on the internet for all the problems that you face. So that is what I want you to understand and see from these tutorials, that how actual development takes place. So for Bootstrap, we just have to copy this CSS link here, and we are just going to paste it right before our style, so that our style is the um, the last thing that is being added. Also, we have to add these JS section. That's basically basic jQuery stuff for Bootstrap. It handles animations and stuff. We may, or uh, at least for this tutorial, at least for this website that we are making, we don't require the JavaScript versions, but we may sometimes require, so we are just going to use it. For the responsiveness for the navbar, we obviously require the jQuery, so we have to add it in our HTML. So now here in the content section, in the component section, we need a navbar. So basically navbar is this one, right? We have the brand name, the name of the website, and then some links. So this is what we want. We are just going to copy this code right here, and we are going to paste it right here. Now there is no need at all to remember all this stuff, because these stuffs are always available on the website, and you don't need to mug everything up. Even if you understand from where to search for which things, it's good enough. You don't need actually to uh, learn everything by heart, everything. So we have saved it there. Let's see what is being done on our website. So this is the navbar. If I decrease the size, now you can see here that the navbar and all this stuff is showing on the top. So this is our navbar. But what do we want is, we want to first change the brand name from navbar to, so here is navbar. This we want to change to the tree org, right? And save it. Now it shows up here. Next thing that we want here is home is good enough. On link section, we want about us, and we want one more. So we are just going to copy, and I think Alt Shift and down, it just copies everything below. Contact us. Now we don't want this drop down list. So this drop down list, we don't want this drop down list. So we are just going to delete the drop down nav item drop down section. And also we don't want the disabled one. We're just going to delete it. Also we don't want this form right here, this form, we don't want the form. So let's say, I think we are good to go. I'll just indent everything so that it's looks organized. Oh, cool. So right now when we saw the image, where is the image? If I can bring up the image. So we want the tree.org here and the options on the right hand side, but right now they're in the left hand side. So for that, we just have to change this MR, that is right, to ML, which is left, and that's it, done. Cool. Now we are going to first write down the section right here, and there are a basic Bootstrap uh, classes which you have to use for responsiveness. So the first is container. So div.container will just create a div with class container. So container is one of the classes from Bootstrap which is used for responsive web design. Under that we want div dot row. This is also one of the Bootstrap classes, and inside this we want div dot call 6. I'll be telling you what all this means once we are done. We are just going to write here an h3 tag, welcome to, and h2 tag, the tree org, right? And let's save it. Now what is actually happening here is uh, this has created, now you can see it right here. Now this code has created a container. So the first container is from here to here, from the left to right. Then we inserted a row. So a row has been inserted which is of this height, and then we give it the 6 columns. So basically the complete bootstrap is being the complete width of the container is being divided into 12 parts. So all of them are 12 columns. So what we are doing here is we are using the column 6. So basically we are making a div of 6 columns, so half of the size of the complete container. So the complete container is from here to right about here, but when we do it column 6, so it brings up only till the halfway. Now we'll be seeing it when we do the coding for that. First of all, I want to remove this red color, it's too harsh to the eyes. Let's go for yellow maybe, or yellow green was there. Cool, this is much better. And we are just going to decrease the size here so that we can understand in a website point of view what is being seen. Still here and still here, and cool. So now what we want is first of all we want some text right here. So in p tag we are going to do lorem. I think 20 would do. So again, lorem 20 is one of the emit functionalities where some dummy text will be written by itself. So this is exactly what we wanted, and this is exactly what we are getting. We can change this to h1 also, just because it is the name of the website, so it should be h1. Cool. Now what we got to do, let's look at this. We want here a button, so let's create a button. So once we are done with this first 6 columns, we want a div for the next 6 columns. So div dot call 6, and here we want a button, and for button we need class. Now again, these classes are from the Bootstrap classes, btn for button and btn primary. Now as soon as we do that, of course we have to write something right here. See portfolio. Now as soon as we okay, so just to get the green color, I think we have to write button success, double cess. Now all these are emit the Bootstrap classes, primary, success, alert, danger, and all that. I highly suggest you to see a tutorial on Bootstrap somewhere on the internet, just so that you get what I am actually doing right here. Then what we want is a section right at the bottom. So once we are done with this row, we want one more row at the bottom. Div dot row and div dot call. Now I want it to span to the complete one, right? So I think we should not be writing it down here in the container. We can write down it somewhere else. Div dot container full, div dot row, div dot column 12, and here we want DIGNED designed by Agarkar Media. So this is exactly what we wanted. To get it centered, we can use a class called, I think it's text center. That's it. Cool. Also here in the button section, we want to use the same class text center, just so that it is centered. Now what we are going to do is we are just going to add our own classes, or let's say we are not going to add our classes, we are going to add IDs to all these things. First of all, we want the background for the body. So for background, we are just going to use background image URL, and what is the name here? bg.jpg, and semicolon and save. So now the background is showing up. We just want to change the size of the background. I think it's called size and cover. So now it's done, right? Now the text is not showing up. Text is there, but just because it is black on a black background, it's not showing up. So let's change the color. We'll be doing all the styling for that. Now right here we have a class called bg light, which is giving it a color of white, and navbar light, we don't want any of them, or maybe we're just going to change the styling for that. So bg light, background bg, see, background color some green, and as soon as we save it, yeah, here we need to use important, I think, right? And so what we have to do basically is, first of all, open this up in a web browser, right? Now I'm using this cool add-on, an extension for Chrome called Color Hunt. So I can just point it right here and it will show me the color. Now it should work here. If it is not working, we'll just have to use some color and use it in some way. Okay, so it's not working, my bad, it happens a lot many times. Here, right here, there is a color selector which shows up. I think this is the color that we are looking for, and once it's done, we are just going to add RGB A, and we are going to use A is for alpha, and we are going to use 0.8 because 0.8 was 0.80, 80% of opacity was there, so here we are using that one. As soon as we save it here, now this is very close to this one. I think we can change the color even more to right here, I think. Yeah, cool. Now what do we want is the navbar light is giving the colors for all these things. So navbar light, and we want the color to be white. Maybe not. Yes, again here also we need to use important. Maybe not that too. What's wrong here? Navbar light, navbar light. I have no idea why it is showing up like that. We'll directly go for nav item. Okay, it's not working, and I don't know why. Let's go for nav link. This should work for sure. Yes, the nav link right now is working. But what's the matter with navbar brand? So the branding is done in navbar brand, so we need to do that also. And navbar. So now it's showing up. Also we want this to be bold, so font weight I think to be bold. Cool. And we want these text to be in white, but we are not directly going to do it there. We'll give it an ID of something. Let's say landing. So in the CSS we are going to select hash landing and color white. Cool. So now it's showing up. And also what we want is that this homes should be in greenish color. So we are going to directly use this color, or we'll see which color we can use. So what is extra here is the active part. So the only difference in all the other uh, items, the other home, about, and contact us, the only difference between all these three is this active class extra. So this active class basically shows that this is the current page which is being opened. So we are going to go for active dot active, not the active, and inactive we want nav link dot nav link, and color, let's choose aqua first and then select the color according to our needs. Let's go with this one and let's save it, and it should work. If it is not, again yes, we have to give important. Cool, now it's working right here. Now what else do we want? We want to increase the padding of this, increase the padding. So this is of ID landing. We are just going to increase the margin, let's say not padding, margin top. Let's go for 300px. On the fuller version at 100%, 300x is almost at the center, so I think that's it, right? overall we want the font size to be increased by some percentage. Font size to be 110%, and let's look at it. Cool, now it's looking pretty cool. Also, let's wrap this up in this section only, so that this tree.org shows up here and these all of these three show up here. So for that we need to go to index.html and wrap it inside div.container. I'm just going to cut this div, indent all of this code for organizations part, and just paste it here. Save, and as soon as we save it, it's looking pretty well. The only problem right here is this is not going up till the end, which we want to happen. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to remove the background color from here. We are just going to give it 0 so that the background color is nothing, and then this container, which we will call as id nav. Now we are going to select this nav and give it the color hash nav, and we're just going to select this, copy, paste, and make it here 0.8. Cool. Okay, what's wrong? Right, I got it. So we are again making it a container. So basically the width of container is this much. We want the full width version. So what we are going to do is container full right here, and then again inside this we want a div dot container for wrapping up the navbar. So cut it from nav to closing nav. We're just going to indent it and paste it here, and once we save, now it's showing up pretty correctly. Now at the bottom we want the section for our stuff, some so which one is it? What is wrong here? Nothing at all. So this one container, we are going to call it div id of footer, and we are going to hash footer, select it here, and I think position needs to be not relative but absolute, and then we need the left to be 0 and bottom to be 100 view height, and also color PGC to be black. Now it should show up somewhere. If it is not showing up, we can use the inspect element functionality of Chrome. So when we inspect it, so we are going to go for this footer section and we are going to see where is it, and now here we are stuck. Now because we don't know how the absolute positioning works, so we are going to search for how it works. Absolute position CSS. Now, this is the best part. This is what everyone must know because it happens many times that we need to sometimes change, we need to sometimes search for what we are stuck at on the internet. So this is how we do it. I think what we were searching for was this one. Okay, right. So what is wrong here is we want 0 from bottom also. Cool. So now it is, I think, showing up at the bottom. Well, it is, with the only difference that the height has been changed. Here at the very corner you can see it is showing up right here, but the size, the width has been changed. So we just need one more attribute here, width, to be 100%. Cool. Now it's showing up. Only thing that we need to change the color. Color, we are at the very end of it. We are just going to change the color to the greenish light version which we intend to use. I think this one. Save it. It shows up here. We need a little bit of padding. I think 5px would do. Cool. Here we want this to be at a little bit downward point. So this one, HTML, which one is this? The button. So we are just going to uh, select it using btn. Let's say here bt dot btn. So we are just selecting the btn class and margin top we want, and I think 100px would do. Yeah, almost. We can make it 80. We want border radius to be 50%, which makes it complete round. So now you can see it is almost exactly round, uh, but it has become a circle, which we don't want. What we were up to, only the corners should be round. It should not be a circle. So 25, no, almost. So how to get round corners? Let's search up on internet. CSS round corners. So I think we should go for something. Okay, now it's looking better. we just need to increase the padding to around 10 px and 10 px on the sides as well. Why isn't the padding here changing? I have no idea. So let's do 20 px. Cool. We want some more, so we are going to do it 20 here and 30 here. And we don't want 25 px here right now. We want maybe 30. It's looking pretty well. Now the only point which is remaining here is the Montserrat font. So we are just going to go for Google Fonts. From here we can download the font and use it in our website. So we'll just search for Montserrat, this one. We want to add it. We want the regular section and the bold section, right? And then embed. We just need to copy this link in our HTML. So we are just going to give add it just below our styles, and we need to use this in our body, because every font that we are using is the same font. So in the body tag, in the body class, we can use this line, and I think everything is almost done. So this is it. We developed the website in HTML and CSS. So first we develop the website in our Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. In the last video, if you haven't seen that, I'll link it up here. And in this video, we developed the website in HTML and CSS. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any queries related to these two videos, you can write down in the comment section below. If you want to give some suggestions on how I should be moving forward with these videos, then you should be commenting in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe. I'll be bringing web designing, graphic designing, and game development related stuff on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Till then, keep smiling and keep learning.